Hey everybody, Donald the Dialect Coach here, and today we're going to jump right into part 2 of how to make your dialect smoother and more believable. So without further ado, here is part 2. Because it's so important to root the dialect that you're doing in your own voice, my students find it very helpful to do their lines without an accent at all, just using their own dialect. Now when you're doing the lines with your own dialect, you need to be mindful and listen closely for the following things. When does your pitch go up and when does it go down in your voice? Does it go and change a lot? Does it happen a little bit? Is it happening at the ends of sentences, in the middle of the sentences? How can you focus on what you're naturally doing with your pitch and bring that into the dialect so that you're breathing life into the dialect? Where are you breathing in the line? Or are you breathing at all? I hope you are. Sometimes actors forget and you go through 2 or 3 lines without breathing. You have to breathe through that line. But just recognize when you're doing it without a dialect, are you breathing before a certain word, after a certain emotion? See what you can do to bring that into the dialect. What words are you emphasizing when you do it in your own dialect? Hopefully they're the verbs. The verbs are the most important words in the sentence, the action verbs. But if you're using another word, pay attention to that and make sure that when you're performing in the dialect that you're still using that word that you would naturally milk and you would naturally put all your emotion into. Lastly, do you feel yourself wanting to gesture when you say certain lines? Remember, a gesture could be something with your hands, it could be something with your face, it could be a smile, something like that. You should incorporate that in your performance, whether you're using a dialect or not. That's how you make a dialect believable, by finding those things that you do naturally and normally and injecting them into the performance, whether you have a dialect or not. If after doing all of those things you're still having issues with making the sentence delivery fluid, forget about the dialect for a minute. I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes as actors we're very hard on ourselves. And the more that you focus on that dialect, the more it's going to take away from your acting during the performance. So this is what you do. You do all of your training beforehand. Make sure you're getting quality dialect training. Whether you're working with a coach or working by yourself, you do all your homework ahead of time. That way when you get into the performance situation, you can trust your training, okay? And that takes faith. You have to believe in yourself that you did all the training you needed to, so that in that performance situation or auditioning situation, you can relax and focus on how you feel and what you think and what that character is doing and what they're going through, and you can allow all that awesome dialect training that you did beforehand to come through naturally in that performance. So guys, I hope these tips help you out. I'm sure that they will. If you have any questions or to receive more tips, tricks, videos, and all that good stuff, come visit me at www.donaldthedialectcoach.com. I hope to see you soon.